This will without a doubt be the most controversial video on my channel. Let's talk about it. How's it going, everyone? FusRoDab back with, like I said in the very beginning, probably the most controversial video I'll ever make. Charizard is not a bad Pokemon, and you're wrong to think that it is. Now, I'm not just going to end the video here and say you're wrong without supporting my evidence. That's not how you win an argument, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit. I am going to give you my side of the argument, and afterwards, I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments, so please be sure to leave a comment, especially if you disagree with me. First things first, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, I am a Charizard stan. I absolutely love Charizard. I've loved Charizard since day one of Gen 1. It's been a part of my life, a critical part of my life for a long time, and unapologetically so. Myself being a Charizard fanboy has definitely led to the conversation of, oh, Charizard's not cool, Charizard's overrated, Charizard's bad, you're stupid for liking Charizard, nye, 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 nye. I hear it all the time. I'm gonna hear it more in this comment section as well. Now, my first point is the word overrated is overused. To be overrated, the something has to not deserve the value that it is given. I think we can all collectively agree that Charizard is a very pricey Pokemon to love. Whether that be collecting TCG or memorabilia or posters, whatever, if it has Charizard on it, it's gonna cost a lot of money. Now, the argument that I always hear is, that's not worth it, or it's overrated, or there are much better Pokemon out there. Like I said previously, the word overrated, in my opinion, is overused. I feel like it's like the main driving point behind people's not liking Charizard argument, which is just not a strong argument in my opinion. For something to be overrated, the value has to be false or overestimated, and I think that's simply just not the case. Historically speaking, people have been in love with dragons for centuries. The concepts of dragons go all the way back to the ancient mythology. Multiple cultures around the world are fascinated by these mythical creatures, and for good reason in my opinion. We as humans have like a desire or attraction to things that are otherworldly or exotic in nature. So when Pokemon made the crucial decision to make the final form of the fire starter in the very first generation, this mythological creature that history has loved for centuries, I think they did it with intent. They wanted this Pokemon to stand the test of time. While it's not necessarily a dragon type at the time, the physical characteristics of Charizard are undeniably that of a dragon. And it eventually got the dragon type when it got the Mega X form. By the way, side note, that's my favorite form of Charizard. So if your main claim to Charizard being your least favorite Pokemon is that it is too popular or it's overrated, I want you to reevaluate what it is you truly dislike about Charizard. I'm not saying you have to like Charizard, but you need to come up with a stronger argument than that. Simply calling it overrated and dismissing it is not a strong argument. If you're one of those people, I'm calling you out. And here, Charizard haters, I'll help you out. Next time you're arguing with a Charizard fanboy like myself, use these 3 tools. The keys to winning a successful argument boil down to 3 points. First, ask how instead of why. How is Charizard one of the most popular Pokemon? Or how is this collectible worth this much money? Not why is Charizard one of the most popular Pokemon and why does it cost this much money? Looking at the word how, it has a different connotation than the word why. Why is asking for a statement or a reason, while how, on the other hand, is looking at the logic or the facts behind it. Simply put, Game Freak would not give this much attention to Charizard if people didn't love it. So those people out there that are calling Charizard overrated are looking at the why and are confused, while they should be looking at the how, and they have a overwhelming amount of evidence as to why people love this Pokemon, rather than doing research and supporting their evidence with a valid argument. Speaking of evidence, that brings us to our next point. Evidence to support your position. When you're trying to win an argument, you don't just say, well, that is overrated. You support your argument with irrefutable evidence. If I'm trying to win an argument with somebody, I give them a list of facts. So next time you disagree with somebody who likes Charizard, give evidence as to why something else should be more popular. An argument that is weak will not stand. And my last point to help you with your argument is use logic to support said evidence. Logically speaking, Game Freak has a reason to give Charizard this much love. Look at the irrefutable evidence of how successful, for example, in the TCG, Charizard has been. People are like, oh my god, more Charizard cards. Oh my god, more Charizard cards. It's making them money. I am also a collector, so I understand the hype behind it. So obviously, it goes to stand with reason and with logic that Charizard is popular in a vast majority of fans. So therefore, adding to the collection increases the desire to have said Pokemon as part of your collection. If you're like me and you're trying to collect as many of the cards as possible, it only makes sense to keep releasing more cards to keep getting more money. Same thing with the video games. People complained all the time, well, why did Charizard get 2 Mega Evolutions? Why did he get a Gigantamax form? Blah, 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 blah. It's simply because people wanted it. Game Freak wouldn't have done it if they didn't think that people would enjoy it. And if anything, it's been living in your head rent-free. You're thinking about Charizard's forms when you could be thinking about your favorite Pokemon. Like him or hate him, Charizard is a key part of your Pokemon experience. Whether that be your argument or whether that be using it and loving it. Game Freak's got you hook, line, and sinker. Now, like I said in the very beginning of this video, I do not expect this to go over well. I'm probably gonna get a bunch of nasty comments, but before you leave that comment, I urge you to think about it logically. Use the 3 points that I mentioned to support your argument. Ask how instead of why. Use evidence to support your position, and conclude your argument by bringing in logic to support said evidence. If you leave a comment on this video saying Charizard is overrated, blah, 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 you're wrong, I'm just gonna dismiss it. Now, on the other hand, if you use these 3 points and have a really, really strong argument, we can happily have a discussion about it. But I'm dismissing anyone who just says overrated, you're wrong. That's simply not how you win an argument. Now, the point of this video is not to make you change your mind. If anything, I don't even want you to change your mind. Your opinion is awesome. My goal is to make people change the way that they are arguing about it. I'm tired of people saying it's overrated and then stomping away victoriously. That's not how you win an argument. The goal of this video is to make you form a stronger argument. How is Charizard, in your opinion, the worst Pokemon? How does it not deserve the value? Not why. Support it with evidence, and then use logic to back up your claim. Oh man, I can't wait to see these comments. I can't wait to see these comments. I'm either gonna have a bunch of people agreeing with me, or I'm gonna have a bunch of people disagreeing with me. There will be no middle ground. If you made it all the way through to this part of the video, thank you so much, especially if you disagree with me. The beautiful thing about being human is that we all have different opinions. And when we have disagreements with each other, I hope that we can have civil conversations. I genuinely love learning from people and learning their point of view, but I do not like listening to arguments that are weak. Special thank you to the members of the Fus Force for making videos like this possible. If you'd like to become a member, be sure to click that join button to see what you can get in return for your monetary contributions to the channel. Shout out to my channel regulars for always commenting, liking, and supporting the videos. I think that's about it from me. So regardless of your point of view, have yourself an incredible rest of your day, but above all else, stay excellent to each other. I'll see you next time.